Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Competition Archery Media.
My name is Hugo Lowe.
Hello, I'm Christina Percoli from San Marino.
Greetings, this is Jay Barsh from the 107 Club.
I'm Ryan. I'm with Anchor Point Archery in Goodyear, Arizona.
We are the Mini Barebow. This is for the Barebow Project. Go Barebow!
This is
the Barebow Project.
And this is the Barebow Project.
And this is the Barebow Project.
And you're watching the Barebow Project.
And you're watching the Barebow Project.
I'm Grayson Partlow, and this is the Barebow Project. I think that was an 8.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Barebow Project. I am honored to be joined by 4 amazing young barebow archers. And I guess quite frankly, one of the reasons I wanted to highlight this podcast is because there's been a trend amongst the young men. There's always been, we're going to give the ladies their flowers right now. There's always been a trend of young women competing at high levels in some regards in America anyways, I should say. And the ladies sort of set the tone to compete with the barebow senior women. But these 4 have all kind of come up together in some ways, respectively, from all over the world. We were just talking about a little bit, Hugo Lobb kind of started it as a young man, really making a splash in men's senior barebow. And then Leo Pedersen obviously followed it up with the same level of competitiveness. But now we have 4 more. And these 4 had an amazing Lancaster Archery Classic performance. Obviously, we're joined with Mr. Oliver Hicks, the 2026 Lancaster Archery Classic champion. The smile says it all. But we're also joined with Luke Thornsberry, who's American from Illinois, Judah Holmes from Australia, and Ludwig Roland coming at us from Denmark, right? Sweden.
Almost.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. My bad. I almost had
Famous Leo.
100% on that quiz. It's one of those things where you have these 4 are now competing against each other at arguably one of the best indoor tournaments in the world. Maybe not the best, but in America, it definitely is one of the best. So we're going to have a little bit of a roundtable discussion. But first we're going to let these guys introduce themselves, even though I kind of just did. We're going to kind of just go around like where they're from and make sure you guys drop your age as well. Okay. So as we go through, so we're going to get started. We're going to talk about who you are, where you're from, and tell us like what club or shop or whatever you shoot, like the primary place that you represent when you shoot back home. Cause we want to give them some attention as well. So, we'll start with, on my screen, Ludwig, we're going to start with you because you're on my top left. So give us the details, my young friend.
Okay, so I'm Ludwig. I come from a small town in Sweden called Färingtofta. I've been shooting for, I think, 6 years now. I'm turning 20 today.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. And shooting is going pretty well this season, I'd say.
Yeah. What club, or do you have a club or a shop or
Yeah.
whatever?
Right now I'm shooting for a club called Järnvägen. It's just right in the middle of Sweden. A good place to be if you want to compete a lot and practice a lot. So that's why I'm here.
Perfect. Do you have other barebow shooters in your club?
Definitely.
Okay, so it's definitely a popular it's a popular thing over there for sure.
We had before I came here, they had Leo as well.
Oh, okay.
So the barebows have kind of gathered here.
Gotcha. All right, perfect. Thank you, man. All right, Luke. Have at it. Give us the details, my friend.
Well, um, I'm 18 from Illinois, just outside of Chicago. I shoot out of Bodoc. That's I've gotten all my coaching and stuff from there,
Hmm.
but there's not a whole lot of shooting space actually in Bodoc. So there's another club. It's called Joliet Archery Club, and it's about like I don't know 5 minutes away from my house, and
Oh,
that's a
nice.
27 range. So I go and shoot there a fair amount. But yeah,
Okay. Are you a high school senior or did you
I
graduate?
I'm a high school senior.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
graduate this spring.
Gotcha. All right. Perfect. We're gonna go with Judah next.
Yeah, so I'm 18.
Oh, we just
Oh,
lost Judah for a second. Did you guys lost him too?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if he just disconnected. Oh,
he's
there he's
back.
back. He's back now.
What just happened?
You're good, buddy. You're good.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So go ahead. Start
Um,
over.
yeah, I'm Judah Holmes. I'm 18. I live on an island called Tasmania. It's right down the bottom of Australia. It is a state of Australia, but it's separate from the mainland. Um, I've been shooting or competing for 2 years in Barebow. I shoot at a local club, Van Diemen Archers, and I am affiliated with Urban Archery, which is obviously the best archery shop in Australia. So, yeah. And I also, my coaching has come from Tom Clum Sr., who's an American level 4 NTS coach. So,
Gotcha. All right. Very good. Very good. And then our esteemed guest, Mr. Oliver Hicks. Give us the details, Oliver.
So I'm 19 from the UK. There's too many clubs that I shoot at the moment. So I shoot at University of Birmingham Archery Club, which
Okay.
is my primary one at the moment. I shoot men multiple times each week, and then I've also shoot at Lichfield Archers, which is they've got a 24/7 indoor range. So I shoot there when I can't get time at uni, and then there's Overton Black Arrows, which I use for my field practice for, which is my favourite one. Just um, it's just a open like bowl and it shoots some insane slopes. And then there's the club which I shoot at back home, which is Bowman of Warfield. So I've
Okay.
got quite a few. They all are really good.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have so many to choose from, though. I'm a little jealous myself, unfortunately, with like where we are. We don't have, first of all, we don't really have much for field that's offered. Everything is 3D. And then, you have indoor ranges, but it just like it's not, there's just not quite the variety, I should say. It's just as I might as well just drive to Lancaster and shoot there an hour and whatever, which is nice. I'm not complaining by any means. As
Yeah,
you guys all know, Lancaster's it's pretty awesome, but to shoot at their indoor range. As a matter of fact, this weekend our Lancaster's hosting the indoor nationals this weekend. John's prepping for that right now and shooting this weekend at Lancaster. So that should be interesting to see where those chips fall. So good stuff. Good stuff. I was perusing, we'll say some of the results from the classic, but let's just kind of go around the horn where um, where you qualified at. All right, that'll be the first question. Where you qualified at, and then obviously where you finished at the end, if you know. If not, I have it pulled up here. But so Ludwig, where did you qualify at, like score wise and placement wise?
I qualified fourth with a 567, I believe. And then I lost in the second match and became the highest ranked archer to lose in the second
Yeah,
match. So I got 17th in the
yeah,
end.
yeah. That's still excellent shooting though. excellent shooting.
Yeah, I had a 118 in the first match, and then I lost to my friend and kind of Swedish rival Marcus Axelsson in the second match. So, and I
Mm.
shot good, so I'm happy with my performance. And then
Yeah.
I shot the Eastern Youth Tournament, which
Oh
I
yeah, we
won.
talked about that. Yeah, how did you end up with that? I see you got a
I
trophy behind
shot
you.
another 567.
Impressive. Impressive. That's a lot of arrows though, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like running back from the line just to check the on the finals because they were shooting the
Yeah.
same time as I was shooting my like just uh, qualifying scores or yeah
Yeah, sure.
the youth tournament.
Yeah.
All the Judah Holmes and Oliver Higgs were up on the big stage, so I was just running back and forward between ends,
Yeah.
looking
That's
at
awesome.
the stream.
Not only are you a fan, or not only you're a shooter, but you're a fan because it's hard to not want to see that. It was definitely impressive for sure. Luke, where did you end up with qualifying?
Um, I believe after qualifying, I was fifth with a 565.
64, according to Lancaster.
That's
Wow.
probably right. I probably
Yeah,
just forgot.
64. That's all right though. Yeah.
Um, and then after eliminations, I know I lost in the third round. I don't know where I ended up after that, I believe.
Let me see if I have it here. Looks like you ended up at 12th
12th.
total. Yeah, 12th, which is still extremely respectable. It's very good. Yeah, great shooting for sure. Okay, good. Is that higher than what you finished last year?
Uh, sig I know I dropped after the second round last year and qualified about in the middle of the cut last year. So it definitely was higher. I don't know how much higher necessarily, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot better.
You remember what your qualifying score was last year?
I think it was an even 540 if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Outstanding. All right. No, that's good. That's good stuff. Judah, where did you end up with qualifying, and how did your matches go?
Yeah, so I'm not really a qualifying shooter. I don't shoot my best in qualification. I shot a 554 and came 15th in qualification, so I was happy with that. You know, as long as I was in the top 20, that was cool. And yeah, I shot really strong all my matches. It wasn't an easy lineup. Um, Being 15th, you're kind of going against people who had similar scores to you in qualification. But I shot strong, really strong qualification, sorry, in eliminations. Just good mental control. Shots was going nice. I shot a 113, 111, 115 to come in seventh position onto the stage.
Very good. Yeah, you definitely seem to get stronger and stronger from qualifications to the matches all the way to the end. I think the
Yeah.
one thing that you guys probably have all found out that we always talk about the head-to-head matches as sort of a little bit of a crapshoot because you don't know who you're going to come up against, and you don't know. It takes one person that shot any score, any qualifying score, could have an amazing four ends. And if you happen to come up against that person, they can just knock you out immediately, or you can shoot the best head-to-head ends of the entire tournament, and that person can just edge you out by a little tiny bit. Like I think Luke, you said you shot like a one, or was it Luke or Ludwig? You said you shot like a
I shot
118.
a 118.
Yeah, like I mean, and you just never know what's gonna happen. So,
In the
uh,
same round, Eric shot a 121. So if I would have went up against him, I would have been out with a 118.
yeah, crazy. Which is wild when you think about it. Like, but that's the state of Barebow right now. I mean, there's just some incredible talent, and you guys are competing against, um, the likes of Eric Johnson, who is just an absolute shoots like unconsciously good. So he doesn't even know, I swear he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just putting arrows in the middle every time, and that's it. That's it just happens automatically. Anyways, moving on. So Ollie, we know what the end result was, obviously. But let's talk about your qualifications and how you felt like your matches were going and stuff like that.
So I finished my qualification in 11th with 5:58. After the first half of qualification, I checked the results and I was like 20th in my set, like overall.
Yeah.
And I managed to pull it back in the second half to bring myself back up to 11th, and then sort of kept it at, I think it was like 112 dozen sort of the rest of the tournament mostly. I ended up against Luke in my third match, and like you were saying earlier, it's tiny margins. Like
Yeah.
it's a bit. I don't know any other tournament which does this, but at the Upper Classic, they do it on 11s if you tie score, which it doesn't quite seem right when you're
Yep.
like you have the same score, but I shot, I think it was 2 11s, and I think Luke shot one, and everywhere else should have a shoot off, but I had shot one more, so I then ended up going through. So it didn't quite feel right.
So in America, that's what they do for ties across the board. Like USA Archery is tens and nines, as opposed to because they don't count X's in USA Archery.
Yeah,
They just count tens and nines. So like if, for example, years ago, Grayson, Bartlow, and John tied for first place for indoor nationals. And I think Grayson won by like one or two tens because he had more tens than John did.
yeah,
So it's the same concept of, and I think it also saves a little bit of time
yeah,
from that regard. But like because it's the hustle and bustle of Saturday, like Saturday the head to heads, like it's quick and it's fast and it's like, it's just so hasty and energetic that they have to be able to just move on to that next match, move on to
yeah.
the next match, you know what I mean? So, um, I will say I too have lost a head-to-head match on X's before years ago when I shot Olympic recurve. So I feel your pain, Luke. Um, um, but I think it's just the format that they use, and I
Yeah,
think that's what makes it, the unique experience that it is. So it's all
yeah.
good there, but
I think the um, first year that I was there, same thing happened to Joel in a match against Raymond, the
uh-huh.
last match before, and the like last match, and then Raymond went on to win it as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is what it is. Like we said, it's a little bit of the
yeah,
you just never know how the cards are gonna fall, and that's okay. I mean, um I think that's what just adds to the fun of the tournament. It's just it's wild sometimes to watch. But anyways, so I guess with that being said and um looking at the big picture of the tournament, like, and you guys can speak. This isn't going to go round table one each. You guys can speak as you feel. Like, what are some lessons that you learned from coming, yeah, especially for those of you that traveled across abroad? What are some lessons that you learned or things that you would like to share with other barebow archers that were like key components to your success, your good scores, things that you did either preparing for or the week of or during the tournament. There's always there's always things that we learn tournament to tournament. So, like, what are some words of wisdom that you might have for archers out there that are coming to the classic or going to a big tournament or something like that? Anybody?
I can start. One thing that I thought was really, really helpful to just keep track of my nerves was that I had a big tournament in France the weekend before Lancaster in Nîmes. So I got some like good practice in like shooting high qualifying scores and good qualifying scores. But then also getting to shoot a match with a lot of nerves just helped me prepare for like the matches in Lancaster.
Yeah.
So I think I was like just in the right mindset of what can I expect when I get into the matches. And then also I think a big thing that I've learned since Lancaster or because of Lancaster is just because I have the ability to train, maybe I shouldn't train all the time I have the ability to. Because I think
Interesting.
like the first day we got there, I probably shot twice as many arrows as I usually do in a like practice session.
Yeah.
And that might have affected me negatively in this, like just in the qualifying and just
Sure.
throwing me out of rhythm a bit.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that's something to keep in mind.
you can't ignore fatigue, and you might not know that you're fatigued, but and it could be mental and it could be physical. I think the excitement of being at the classic makes you want to shoot though.
Yeah,
So in some regards, like, some people may thrive on that, and then some other people may who aren't used to it, or, like you can get a little absent-minded with your form or with just like where your mental space is and if you shoot a whole lot. So I think that's good advice though. I think people need to manage that, separately for sure. Anybody else?
I think I'm unable to get up that kind of pressure that Ludwig was talking about before tournaments here in Australia. Like, there's no tournament that can put that kind of pressure on me to
Right.
shoot well under pressure. Target nationals, which I won last year, but even there, like, pressure is as intense as Lancaster.
Right.
So I think that's super beneficial to be able to do some big tournaments where you've got some really tough competition and your score really does matter. Not saying that it doesn't matter in, target nationals or whatever, but the pressure just isn't as intense. And also I found something that was really helpful for me at Lancaster was having a support network on the line, behind the line that can keep you focused, keep you in the right headspace. So I'd say I have a pretty mentally robust game, but somebody that can just keep it light, like, joke around a little bit. I had Oliver Ockenholt on my target, and that was super good. Like, we were encouraging each other while the other person was shooting, good shot, keep it going, strong shot. If you shoot a bad shot, forget it, move on to the next one. And then, and people behind the line also, just encouragement. I think that was really helpful and beneficial for me to stay in the right mindset and not get down on those bad shots, and also use the good shots to keep a roll going. So I definitely found that was super helpful for me.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good stuff. And that's got to be tough across the globe, or even just geographically here in America. Like, that idea of trying to produce that same pressure feeling is very difficult. And I think if I remember correctly, did you shoot some online stuff, Judah, like some live feeds and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
I
So
did a lot of
that helps,
it.
right?
It does to a degree. Like, the first couple you get a little bit of nerves going on, but after that, what I tried to do was build an immunity to it. And I was able to build an immunity to live feeds, but
Sure.
there is, the pressure is 10 times more increased at Lancaster than shooting against somebody that won Lancaster 2 years ago on a live feed. Like,
Right.
it's not comparable. I don't think there is anything you can do to fully prepare for it.
Yeah.
But I think if you do what you can, it's going to help you. And if you figure out what you need to do to be able to stay focused, stay in control, then you just got to hope it works on the day on the
Yeah.
line at Lancaster.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And I think that also like your comments about Oliver, I think that's a testament to the community of Barebow, whether it's, the top shooter or last year's winner, all the way down to the newest shooter that just showed up and shot their first tournament. I think it's a testament to our community because there's definitely an incredible amount of support across the board. We
Yeah.
just, and I've said this before, I think we all appreciate the struggle so much that that's why we're like, hey man, we all know that this isn't easy. And so if today's your day to shine, then I'm going to support you all the way to the end of that. So that's good stuff. I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's it.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
there's no animosity or,
Mm-mm.
when you're standing on the line with your competitors, it's not like it's cold shoulder. I do my thing, you do your thing.
Yeah.
If you're open 99% of the time, the person you're on the line with is going to be the same. And you both want to see each other do well, and that pushes you to do better than you normally would. So yeah, definitely super helpful and cool that, the Barebow community is like that, because not many sports you have
No.
that kind of relationship and connection with your competitors.
Even in archery, some of the other disciplines aren't quite like that. I will say that. We all know
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
How about you guys, Luke, Ollie? Anything you want to add?
Um, I know for me, and I'm still learning it every time I shoot, but my biggest thing is always just like the mental game of it. As far as like under pressure and nerves and stuff, I always actually find myself shooting a little better than I usually would, like outside of tournaments and like practice or whatever. Usually if I have a little nerves, it kind of helps push me a little bit. But what I always found that always gets me is realizing that I'm actually doing good. Um, so like at Lancaster, I know started shooting together quite a few good ends there, and then I realized I was doing good, and I threw a 6 out there. Which I will say, kind of as Judah was talking about, it's really nice to have a support group, especially some people that kind of understand what you need.
Right.
Like when I shoot, I really am not a big fan of like encouragement per se, of like you're doing good like that. I want someone to tell me that I have to do better,
Yeah.
kind of push me a little bit. And one of my teammates from Bodoc was there with me, and he was just sitting there the whole time telling me to shoot better, and that really helped. And also, I had Ludwig and Judah standing behind me telling me I suck and give me crap.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this first half hour of episode 135. And make sure that if you want to see the full episode, to check out our members portal right on our homepage at www.thebarebow.project.com, as well as on our homepage. You can get full access to the full audio version. It's right there. It's always on the website. All the latest episodes are always on the website. Check out the apparel store. Check out the subscriber options through our member portal, through Fourth Wall, which is also where our online store is, and all the good stuff there. We appreciate your support as always, but the platform is as it is. Your public access, YouTube and Spotify are all the portions that are like the first half of every episode, and the full video episode is reserved for our paid subscribers. That's how we keep the wheels turning of the Barebow Project. So if you have the means and you want to subscribe and be able to attend these live recordings, get access to the exclusive content, get access to the Barebow Shooter School, and all of the things behind closed doors, consider doing that. If not, that's cool too. You still get the audio version at the Barebow Project website. So check that out. Thank you so much. Shoot straight, shoot often. Peace.